At the age of 36, I had some health issues that were serious. It made me rethink my future, and I'd always wanted to work for myself, so maybe this was the time to start moving in that direction. And Jane and I were on a car trip coming back from Louisiana to visiting her family, and she encouraged me by saying, you know, if you could do anything you wanted to, what would really make you happy? And I said, well, you know, I really love a clean car. And that's really how it all started. We started researching the car wash industry, joined the associations, and talking to car wash operators. And it was also the time that I hooked up with John Clay, who became my mentor.
Jane and I went to high school together, and Jane and my wife and I all went to college together. So we were friends here in Fort Worth when Jane and Jerry got married. Jerry had an idea of a business he wanted to start and wanted some advice on how to do it.
Jerry and I worked together back in the construction industry, and we had a good relationship.
I met Jerry back in about 1985 or thereabouts. They came over as a result of John asking him to come over and see if we could get a car wash enterprise started.
I had a car wash that I went to that was pretty old at the time itself. It was one of the original car washes. But I was intrigued by the way they ran their business. So I would go get a car wash, go back and write a job description for vacuum, write a job description for the loader, and just watching all those different aspects. I went so many times the paint came off.
I was excited because I could see the excitement. He was talking about something that he really didn't know anything about, but the passion was there.
You know, more than anything, I think as an investor, it's the person that you're putting your money behind, not necessarily the industry. And Jerry, you know, fit the bill there, and of course Tom also.
So we got investors and bought property, and Jerry and I basically in that process worked on the construction crew of the general contractor.
We found a location over in the university area, TCU.
Back then it was trying to decide whether it would be touchless or soft cloth. But it was a neat opportunity because we traveled around the country to the OEMs to see equipment, to meet people in the industry. Those relationships are still in place today. My dream was never to end up with 11 locations, but to have one car wash. I mean, that was our dream, was to have this one car wash location on University Drive. And obviously our boys were a big part of that.
In 1999, got into the car wash business with Jerry. He asked me to come in, and I ran our oil change facility for about 7 years, and then the full service for some years after that. And then in 2002, we got into the express car wash industry.
I saw Jerry teach our boys what it meant to work hard and to be dedicated to something.
Jane was an integral part of our business because she had the gift store, and she started her company in 1989 at the same time we opened. There's a lot of days that Jane, Doug, and I were all in the same location, but we never talked to each other because we were all busy doing other things. One of the biggest influences for me early on in the industry was being able to be on the board of directors for SCWA. I spent almost 5 years researching the industry, so I knew these guys by what they had accomplished, and to have the opportunity to be in the same room and work with them was very meaningful to me, and I learned a lot through that process.
The fact that he was always willing to learn and got involved in the associations and brought back new information was key, and I'm not sure we'd be in the express wash business, you know, had he not been involved at the association level.
I know for me personally, having come out of the full serve, I was looking for a business model that would allow me to wash more cars faster with less people. And I didn't know what that was until a conversation actually at a board meeting one night with Benny Alford.
He had been president of the SCWA. He met Benny Alford in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And then Benny has a good operation, and so Jerry looked at him as a really good role model to follow.
I learned a lot from Benny, and that became the business model that we put together for our express location.
The thing I love about Jerry is his faith is first, and he will always pray about things before he decides to make a decision. When we bring our employees in, we want them to understand that we value them, and we also want to use it as an opportunity to share with them our walk.
I'd say the number one thing is he just got his life in perspective, and always has. You know, it's God first and family second. As much as he loves the car wash, those two things were always ahead of the car wash. And I think that's driven, you know, every decision he's made.
I would say that he's very loyal to his family and to his friends and to his business associates. He is an eternal optimist that if you tell him you can't do it, then he's going to figure out a way to do it.
A lot of people probably wouldn't realize that you know, I had been a cyclist for 20 years. You know, I used to ride my bike about 3,500 miles a year. But I'm also a pretty good cook. I spend a lot of time in the kitchen with Jane, and she tells me I'm a good cook, so that's really all that matters.
His attention to detail and that cleanliness thing, being a neat freak, we call him. All of the operations you'll find are immaculately clean, always. That was part of the job description.
I'm sure my lack of organizational skills probably drives him nuts, but you know, everything was always very well organized, records kept perfectly, you know, and pretty well nothing out of place. Yeah, with the Southwest Car Wash Association, I know that, you know, I didn't see it firsthand, but, you know, he used to talk about the conventions, you know, being tabletops, you know, and then obviously it grew, you know, and he had the opportunity to serve on the board, and then, you know, became president.
At the time I was on the board, we made the decision to go from the hotel format to the convention center format. And that was a big gamble. Our first convention was actually at the Arlington Convention Center, and we were there for a pretty good while before we moved to Fort Worth. One of the other influences that I got to be a part of was holding board meetings in locations where we'd never have a convention. And that allowed us to do car wash tours in these smaller town cities. And it was a big deal to be on a car wash tour. And I think that was one of the things that gives me the most pride, was that I helped influence that decision. I really, you know, I think a lot of people benefited from that. The biggest impact on me personally has been the friendships that I've made through SCWA and operators, manufacturers, and you know, this is a unique industry in that it's not a mom and pop deal anymore. We've got a lot of private equity money coming in, but those relationships are still in place. I think people still enjoy being together. It's been fun to be a part of that.
More than anything, Jerry and I cherish the friendships that we have made. When we lost a son, and the very first people that were there were you people. the car wash people, the people from Texas and all around that we had made friends with. They were the first that we heard from. And so it wasn't all business. There was a true, genuine love for each other. And I don't think that we could ever have made it through some of the tough times had it not been for the friends that we made through the industry.
The Lifetime Achievement Award, that's a big honor for Jerry, and he's tickled to death with it.
Well, obviously the Lifetime Achievement Award is huge. I never thought I would have the opportunity to receive recognition for doing something that I enjoyed and loved so much. It's very humbling to have your peers select you for an honor like that.
I think it's well deserved. You know, he is very passionate about the industry, and you know, a lot of blood, sweat, tears, sleepless nights, I'm sure.
Certainly deserving. I mean, the leadership positions he's had in the industry, I mean, he just couldn't go to anybody that's more deserving, and I do know it means a lot to him. You can't discount Jane's contribution to what's happened here. I mean, she's a class act, you know, got a heart of gold, and she's been all in with Jerry on this, you know, so from the very beginning.
Congratulations, Pops.
We love you.
Congratulations, Pops. We love you.
Jerry, congratulations on the Southwest Car Wash Association Lifetime Achievement Award, and best wishes on your next venture or adventure.
Congratulations, Jerry Miller, on receiving your Lifetime Achievement Award.
Jerry, sorry I'm not going to be there to see you get your Lifetime Achievement Award. I had other commitments, but congratulations, well deserved, on your Lifetime Achievement Award.